It's an NFL Network special on a Saturday night in Indianapolis, and a great game for you. The New England Patriots in town to take on the Indianapolis Colts, and we say good evening and welcome to the broadcast booth. My partner's Pro Bowl tight end Greg Olsen, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Let's start with the Patriots, Greg. A couple weeks ago for their bye, they go to Buffalo, they win a game. They threw it 3 times in that game, but you say that wasn't so much because of their run game. You say that was because of confidence in their defense.
Yeah, the conversation following that game, of course, was about their ability to run the ball and their commitment to it. But Bill Belichick, he placed a bet that his defense was going to be able to hold up and Buffalo's offense would never be able to take control of that game. And the bet paid off. He didn't have to put his young quarterback in a bad spot. But this defense, they're talented. Matthew Judon, J.C. Jackson. But not only are they talented, they are so versatile. Bill Belichick has the ability to line these up in all sorts of different places. It puts so much pressure on a play caller and a quarterback when you're not sure where those guys on defense are going to be pre and post snap.
What will put pressure on them tonight for the Colts is Jonathan Taylor. He's an MVP candidate. He leads the NFL in rushing and in touchdowns. But will that be enough to win this game for Indy?
You know, of course, coming in, that's where all the conversation starts. We have to control Jonathan Taylor. That's Bill Belichick. That's what he's telling his team. But at the same time, if you're going to come in here and beat the #1 defense, you've got to be able to take advantage of those looks throwing the ball. And Carson Wentz is going to have to take those opportunities when they present themselves, and they're going to have to win. Pittman's going to have to win. Jack Doyle's going to have to win. Because this Bill Belichick defense, they're going to come in. They are not going to let Jonathan Taylor just run all over the place.
It is loud in Indianapolis tonight. Can't wait to get going. We've got the sidelines covered. First we go down, talk about the Colts with Pam Oliver.
Yeah, Kevin, Frank Wright, he candidly told his team that this is an opportunity for us to prove that we are real and that we belong. He said, if we're going to be the team to beat, then we've got to win this game. Defensive tackle, DeForest Buckner, he really appreciated Wright's comments. He told me, I love it. I absolutely love it. And he means what he says. He also told me that this is an opportunity for us as well to show, hey, we're out here, we mean business, we can go toe-to-toe with the AFC's #1 seed. Now for what's happening with the Patriots, here's Christina Pink.
Well, hey, Pam, rookie sensation Mac Jones sporting a new accessory tonight, a glove on his non-throwing hand for the first time all season. He practiced with it all week and had it on in pregame warm-ups. This after popping up on the injury report for the first time this season. What he told us, it's just a lingering thumb issue, said it's nothing to be concerned about, even joked that it's my left hand, so who cares? What they do care about is being without their leading rusher, a bit short-handed in the backfield. No Damian Harris tonight, Kevin. He is out with a hamstring injury.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously a big injury for New England, but they do have a running back by rotation back there, and so you figure we'll just see Ramondre Stevenson and Bolden and those guys. Look at this series, and it has been dominated by New England. As a matter of fact, they've won the last 8 in a row over the Colts. They won the toss, they have deferred, and that's how we'll start this one here tonight. And away we go on NFL Network. Glad to have you aboard on a Saturday night. It's Isaiah Rodgers from the 5. And works his way across the 25. And that's where the Colts will start with Carson Wentz. Greg, you talked about it. You think he's going to need to throw the football tonight a lot to win. What he has done in his career, he's won against rookie quarterbacks that he's facing, of course, in Mac Jones.
He has, and as we talked about at the open, he's going to have to take advantage of these looks that get presented to him because of what Jonathan Taylor brings to this offense. Bill Belichick's going to want to control him. He's not going to let him run wild. So they need to take advantage of them. Run-heavy defenses equal really pass-friendly defenses. So we got to make sure Carson Wentz takes advantage of them if they're going to have a chance today to move the ball consistently.
Danny Pinter starts at center for the second consecutive game because Ryan Kelly is out of this game. And so for the second start in a row for Pinter at center. And they'll fake it to Taylor. Wentz on the move, throws, has a completion. So a good start for Wentz. And that's Pittman who's got the catch with McCourty on the coverage. As you look at this defense, they are #1 in the NFL, and they have some major beef in that front 7.
They are big at the first 2 levels. I mean, traditionally we're used to seeing some big guys inside in the defensive line, but it's really the second-level guys. Dante Hightower, Bentley. These guys are 250-pound-plus inside linebackers. They have a style here in New England, and they're sticking with it.
On the give. Actually, it's a fake, and now an incompletion. A little hot for Pittman. Jackson was there, may have gotten a hand on it, and a penalty flag as well. And the Patriots are pointing in the direction of the Colts. Carl Cheffers is our referee this evening. Both of these teams.
An eligible player, number 72, downfield. That penalty's declined. Third down.
Going to say both of these teams are among the least penalized in the league. You see Frank Reich, fourth year in Indianapolis. How about this? Fourth year, fourth different quarterback for him. So I mean, it's pretty amazing that they've been good every year with that.
And he went out and he got Carson Wentz. He's here because he believes in him. He believes a lot of his struggles that he had in Philadelphia was a product of the system around him. So far, the bet's paying off.
Third down and 4. Wentz has time. Lost one for Pittman. He's open, and he missed him. He had him wide open. He beat Jackson on the coverage, but it's a punting situation instead.
J.C. Jackson, he's one of the top corners in the entire league. This is a matchup that Pittman's going to have to win. And when Carson Wentz gets his opportunities, he's beat. He's on top of the defender. He's got to drop that ball in the bucket and hit those plays. We've talked a lot, even this first drive. They're going to get a lot of pass-friendly coverages. Man-to-man on the outside, single safety. They've got to hit him.
Well, they miss a golden opportunity there. And now Rigoberto Sanchez will punt it away to Gunnar Olszewski, an all-pro returner for New England. Good kick. Olszewski does not call fair catch, looking to spin to make a move, and lost the football. It was loose, and it got out of bounds. Odom is the guy who punched it out, and New England, with a fortunate start, could have been disaster as Olszewski lost it, but the Patriots will maintain possession.
This entire team, the peanut punch, we see Darius Leonard, one of the best linebackers in the league at forcing turnovers. You see Odom here, the reserve safety. He gets the ball out. That's why they carry that ball on the outside arm. That's coach. We need that fumble to go out of bounds if you're a Patriot fan. They got a break there.
Start out with the fullback. They'll start out with the run game. And as Christina told you, there is no Damian Harris. So Ramondre Stevenson, the rookie out of Oklahoma, expected to see a lot of time tonight. He gets a carry there. Mac Jones, a rookie from Alabama, has been really terrific this year. And we'll tell you and show you as the game goes along. But 6-0 on the road for a rookie quarterback, pretty impressive.
And of course, everyone wants to say, the defense is number one and he doesn't do a lot. He makes plays when he has to. He plays the quarterback position under complete control. Offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels raves about him.
Blitz coming, swinging out to Stevenson, who lowers that shoulder and is knocked out of bounds. A couple yards short of a first by Darius Leonard, all-pro linebacker for the Colts. As you look at this Patriots offense, their line, one of the best units in the NFL. Kendrick Bourne has been a terrific addition as a free agent. Josh McDaniels, 13th year offensive coordinator. Thought he was going to be the head coach here in Indianapolis, turned it down. And 3rd and 2 coming up. Jones steps away from pressure, fires, and it's caught. A dart from Mac Jones, and Myers has to catch the move the chains.
The entire time Mac Jones is moving in the pocket, he's just keeping his eyes downfield. You're going to see the middle of the field, they just drop out, they bluff. Look, his eyes are all downfield. Here's the open of this cover 2 zone. Mike linebacker gets a little too much depth.
Meanwhile, Darius Leonard is down, injured Colt, which is obviously big. He's their best defensive player. And so they work on Leonard. We take an injury timeout. First series of the game for New England on the move. Hopefully he'll come back in. Has to at least sit out one play. So E.J. Speed in for him right now. There he is, number 45. Colts went 3 now. They missed a big play opportunity. Now the Patriots on the move. Jones steps away from pressure, looks to run and has room to do so. Mac Jones doesn't run very often, but an easy first down into Colts territory.
Bobby Okereke not only misses this sack, he almost misses a sack fumble. keep a look here. You're going to see Jones has the ball low. You're going to see Okereke. That ball moves around. Really nice job there by Mac Jones just hanging on. And he doesn't take off often, as you said, but that goes from an almost strip sack to a first down.
Darius Leonard's back in the game. Patriots go jumbo formation. They do that a lot. Michael Weno, who's excellent. Here's Kendrick Bourne on the reverse. Bourne, nowhere to go. Played well by the Colts as they welcome Zaire Franklin back. He was on the COVID list this week, but he gets a start today in on the tackle for this Colts defense. And the best thing that they do, Greg, is take the ball away. They're #1 in the league in turnovers.
Yeah, and that's coached. That's intentful. That's practiced every day. Coach Eberflus talks about this is our intensity, how we take the ball away, how we run to the ball. He gave us a laundry list of different things that they grade. It was fascinating to listen to him talk about their play style.
Jones, couple of fakes, now going to set up a screen to Smith, who slips, breaks a tackle, penalty flag, big gain, Jonnu Smith inside the 35, but we have to see what the penalty is. The Colts are already signaling that it's on New England.
Yeah, New England's offensive line, the entire right side.
Player number 69 was illegally downfield.
Yep.
5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
They're doing a double screen. They're going to try to get everybody here to the left side. You can see fake screen left, then they're going to set up the screen on the right. But everybody, the entire offensive line is 5-6 yards down the field. Sometimes the timing of those double screens, the left side, they're going to get out fast. That's the dummy side. The right side of the offensive line, who's the screen side, needs to just take one extra count and time it up with the tight end in that case.
So it makes it a second down and 14. And play clock is at 0. And so that'll move it back 5 more yards. So it makes it a second and 19. Pitch out. Stevenson gets to the edge. Couple of blocks across the 45, but not very far. Isaac Rochelle chased him down. That'll be a 3rd and long.
Second time now we've seen New England try to get the ball to the edge. Indianapolis on defense, the strength of their team, that second-level speed. Darius Leonard, Okereke, we've seen them. Zaire Franklin, they can all run sideline to sideline. New England's going to have to find a way to get that ball north and south. Put your shoulders down and go at them, because side to side, they are fast to the ball.
Third and long. Have to get to the 38. Pressure coming. Jones in trouble. Down he goes. DeForest Buckner broke free.
Something Matt Eberflus continues to talk about. We need to get rush with our front four. You're going to see the inside move here. They can line up DeForest Buckner at all different spots. He can line up on the nose. He can line up on the guard. And that time he lines up over the left tackle, Isaiah Wynn. That is a tough matchup when a guy can go up and down the offensive line and just pick, hey, you're the guy I'm going to rush. They can generate that pressure with the front four.
So a 4th and 30, and they will punt it away. Hines falls fair catch, has trouble with it. But will corral it, and the Colts will take over. So each team has a possession, and each team punts it away. Jonathan Taylor didn't get a touch on the opening series for the Colts. You can bet your bottom dollar is going to see it as the game moves along. The NFL's leading. Keys of the game presented by Kia. This is pretty amazing. Bill Belichick against 1,000-yard rushers, right? So obviously there's games that have happened later in the year. He's 18-2 against those cases. Obviously Jonathan Taylor is in that class, and you see in those games, only 4 of them have finished with 100 yards. They've averaged 73 yards. What that's telling you, Greg, he shuts down good runners.
If you're going to beat Bill Belichick, you're going to have to take advantage of pass-friendly looks. We saw it on the first 3rd down of the game. They overthrew Pittman. He is never going to allow your strength to beat him.
Hasn't touched it yet, still won't. They're going to do a little reverse. Look at this, got some room. Doolin has it. Big speed from Doolin on the jet sweep. from Jack Doyle as well.
Nice job here. They're going to arc. The rule on these Jets are you're always going to block the widest two. They don't need to block him. You're going to beat him with speed. He's going to stretch him to the numbers, and then he's going to hit it. That's the alley that the blockers, in this case Doyle, Mo Alley Cox, they know exactly where that ball is trying to get. They got a great look for it, really well executed, speed on the edge. Well done.
Ashton Dulin picks up 37. He's been a factor. He's got touchdowns in each of the last 2 games. Here's the first carry for Taylor. Patient running. And a big hole for Taylor, who picks up a quick 11 and a first down to the 30.
Take a look at this patience here, Kev. He's going to just do a little stutter. He knows where this ball needs to get, but he's going to get deep into the line of scrimmage, set his blocks, and now he's going to take it. Everyone talks about Jonathan Taylor. He's so fast. He's so big and strong. He is incredibly intelligent. He knows where every defender is, both blocked and unblocked. He knows the rules of his offensive line, and he talked this week about bringing those defenders to their blockers. It's really next-level running back play.
Pascal in motion. Give it to Taylor again on the right side. And Taylor's still fighting forward. He's going to pick up 4 yards. Why don't you show us what you mean by the patience in setting up blocks?
You're going to see on this first one, now he's going to be the jet sweep guy. He could easily just right there run straight. But now your poor Zach Pascal, you're out in space. How often do we see that defender now go when he's expecting the ball outside and it's a holding call? Nope, he stretches it. Now you got Joe, you got Bosa, you got Fred Warner, you got 2 of the best defenders in the league. Watch him set Fred Warner on the outside by what? Now, he knows where that ball has to go. That's all on purpose. He's a fantastic runner.
A little nuance to the craft. I like that. So all setting up these holes. Second down, get it again. Taylor, left side, good push there. Still going. Down to the 20. He should have a first down. Wow, left side of that line behind Fisher and Nelson, and just pushing people around, and they'll move the chains.
Something to keep an eye on as this game goes on. They play this 3-4 spacing. You're going to see this is a strong safety playing jack linebacker. That's Kyle Duggar. Now he's 220 pounds. He's a big safety, but he's not Hightower. He's not 260. That dime/base defense that Bill Belichick loves to run. This is a big physical offensive line, getting up on them pretty quick. Something to keep an eye on as the game goes on.
First down, Taylor again up the gut. And again, you see the surge from this offensive line as Taylor's got 4, maybe 5. They didn't touch it on the first drive, but they're feeding him a little here on this second possession.
New England's defense now all week, they've stressed. If he's going to have some success, it's got to be between the 30s on the ground. When they get into the red zone, if I'm Bill Belichick, now listen, he's forgotten more about defense than I would ever imagine. But they've got to make Carson Wentz throw the ball in the red zone if they're going to score.
Going to keep on running. Taylor off the left side, and he's going to be about a yard short of a first down. Well, you're talking about, Bill Belichick being okay with him running between the 30s. The reason is he's a scoring machine. He's got 18 total touchdowns this year, 16 rushing touchdowns. That's more than a lot of teams in the NFL right now. So as you look right here, most rushing touchdowns this year. Teams, Jonathan Taylor, 16. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's remarkable.
Third down and 1 here. Good drive for the Colts. In motion. It is Taylor. First down, first and goal for the Colts. Ground game is moving. 6 straight runs, and it's working.
So Bill Belichick, this defense, they make a slight adjustment. They call what they run solid. We're going to cover your interior. Watch the right guard, Mark Lewinsky, move that guy. In the run game, it takes 1 offensive lineman or 1 double team to distort. They all have gaps on defense. We've got to remove a guy from the gap. Jonathan Taylor finds it. This run game's been super effective here in the red zone. This is where the Patriots need to stand up.
Yeah, look at this trick where they flip it to Hines. Has the wall, makes a move, gets a block from Taylor, and he's in! Touchdown, Indianapolis! Jonathan Taylor, lead blocker.
Wow. Frank Reich, he always has a trick up his sleeve. He's waiting for the perfect time to call them. He's got a list on his sheet. You're going to see Jonathan Taylor out in front. Jack Doyle gets just enough, but look at the goal line. Look right there. Hines is just following his buddy Taylor right into the end zone. What a great, creative, fun play call early in this game by Frank Reich and this Colts offense.
That was something. He takes the snap. They get Wentz involved. He ends up being the lead blocker, and then Hines technically goes down as a receiving touchdown, 8 yards. But it's a score, and the Colts on a heck of a drive. 8 plays, 78 yards. Jonathan Taylor, there's the league's leading rusher. Think you got an idea why. If you haven't seen this kid play, he is something. 7-0 Colts in the first. During the NFL season with the Indianapolis Colts, you get an unprecedented look at the lead up to tonight's game. Hard Knocks, it's Wednesday at 10 on HBO. You can stream the whole series on HBO Max. It's really well done if you haven't watched it, especially it's cool to see this game and see the lead up and some of the shots from the NFL Films camera folks, like right there. I mean, it is great stuff, and that was a heck of a drive. You know, after 3 passes in the opening drive and they punted away after 3 plays, they were run until the very end. So 7-0 Colts. Olszewski, always aggressive, was going to run it out from 1 yard deep. And gets decked at about the 20. E.J. Speed is down there on the tackle. Time for tonight's Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. Mac Jones, among the things he's done well, he's been cool, he's been calm. He gets rid of the ball so fast. I mean, look at this, Greg. I mean, you're talking about 4th best in the league. You know, another one of those things, right? Decisive. I thought Josh McDaniels put it well when talking about him, and we'll get to it after the play, about what allows him to do that. First is a 1st and 10. Stevenson in the back. I'm going to give it to him, and he is buried. Absolutely nowhere to go. Corey Willis, the safety, came through for the tackle.
As you said, we asked Josh McDaniels, we said, what allows him to go through his progression so quickly? It's really the hardest thing for a young quarterback to develop. He said the best way I could describe it is he doesn't fall in love with pre-snap looks. Every defense wants to give a pre-snap look and then change it when the ball is snapped and confuse a young quarterback, hold it a little longer. He said he starts in the right place. It allows him to go through his progression and get the ball out on time.
Yeah, see, that's what he's looking at right there. Looking to throw here. Over the middle, has a completion. It's Bourne who makes the catch, spinning and trying to fight his way towards a 1st down, but he's going to be short. It'll be a 3rd down and about 2.
Then on the other side, when we talked with Matt Eberflus, he gave the exact counter argument. He says, we need to make Mac Jones second-guess himself. We need him to take 1 extra hitch, 1 extra pump, and that will get our front 4 or our pressure home. He saw it on the last drive, didn't get home. Let's see what he has dialed up here on this 3rd down.
And the 2 coordinators going against each other.
See Mac Jones, he's moving the protection. We got Buckner lined up right over the center. We talked he can move anywhere on that front.
They snap it. It's protected. 3rd and 3. They have a completion in. Looks like, where are they marking? It looked to be a 1st down of Myers. And right on that line, good enough to move the chains.
Nice job here. There was some conversation. There was some confusion of who to block, but eventually Mac Jones got them all. And look at this offensive line. They only rushed 3, but look how they stay together. They all stay on the same level. When you rush 3, you give the quarterback a lot of time to go through all of his progressions.
Give again. Stevenson eludes 1 and then really had to work there and turn it into a nice run, as he's got nearly 5 yards. Ramondre Stevenson, the rookie, has been getting playing time more and more as the weeks have gone, really splitting time almost with Damian Harris. He's got 1 100-yard game on the year. And you think about it, you look at his numbers at Oklahoma, Greg, he didn't carry the ball a lot. In his career, he carried it 165 times. You know what his yards per carry was? 7.2 yards per carry. 7.2!
I think they should have just given him the ball more.
Very possible.
That's my insight into that one.
Thank you for that, All-Pro Titan. 2nd and 6. Stevenson has nowhere to go. Good penetration. as Wynn was forced back. And now brings up a 3rd and long.
This Colts defensive line, they understand a lot of this game is going to be on their shoulders. We've seen penetration. We've seen guys running through. I mean, look how many guys. What Matt Eberflus tell us, KB, we need 7 guys in the frame of the picture every single snap. Well, I'll tell you what, early in this game, his guys are playing that way.
3rd and 9. Blitz is coming. Jones sees it. Airs it out deep. It is dropped. Myers had a chance to make the catch. Probably should have done so. It's incomplete. And the Patriots will punt it away.
Myers does everything right. Watch this release. They talk about it. He throws his hand up. He looked like Randy Moss. Oh, he drops it right into his bucket. He does everything right. Wins the route in the first 5 yards. Gets on top of the defender. Quarterback makes a great throw. He just can't corral it.
That really was some throw by Jones. And the punt is blocked. It's free. Only Colts are there. It's recovered for the touchdown by E.J. Speed. Matthew Adams blocked it. Speed recovered it for 6. That is Speed's 2nd touchdown off a block punt this year.
Wow. Unbelievable. We've seen the defense contribute. Of course, the offense contribute. Now the special teams, they get in on the action. This Colts team has started hot. What a play.
How about having 2 punt block touchdowns in the year by the same guy? Speed, not too shabby. Extra point is up and good. Wow. Well, the Colts wanted to prove the world they're for real. You heard Pam Oliver tell the audience at the beginning. Frank Reich said so. This was not an ordinary game. And they come out red hot. It's the punt block touchdown. And it's 14-0 here in the first.
Matthew Adams, you're going to see him right here. He prepared all week to play linebacker. Zaire Franklin gets taken off the COVID list. He goes back to his special team role. Nothing really fancy here. He just runs right by the right guard, Jakob Johnson, who's the fullback. He just runs right by him. Does a great job getting his body across the leg of the kicker. Bubba Ventrone, the special teams coordinator, is fired up. Wow.
I mean, how many guys in history have had 2 punt block return TDs in the same season, let alone a career, right? It's unbelievable. What a start by the Colts. And, you know, they do that, and here they are running down on the kickoff right next to each other. And the Patriots will start on their own 25. So New England on a 7-game win streak. They're playing great football. But this is an experience they haven't had since week 3, being down by 2 touchdowns. It's been a while.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk. The last time we saw them play against Buffalo on Monday night, of course, the conversation was their commitment to the run game, right? Only attempting 3 passes. So much of that is based on the defense or based on playing with a lead or in a close game. Granted, it's very early. This team knows how to just resettle, but a 14-point deficit at some point does change your approach offensively.
On the fake, Jones, pressure coming from Willis, gets away, throws as a completion to Smith, who was hit backwards immediately by Kenny Moore. And that should take us to the end of the first quarter. What a first quarter by the hometown Colts. The run game got going, and then the special teams did their job with a punt block touchdown. After one, 14-0 Colts. 14-0 Colts over the Patriots. Glad to have you with us on an NFL Network special on a Saturday night. Christina Pink, Pam Oliver, Greg Olson, our entire NFL Network crew. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Great to have you aboard. Good start for the Colts. Patriots looking to answer a little bit here after taking a quick uppercut. 2nd down and 7. Jones. Quick drop, quick throw, and a completion. Aguilar who's got it. And he's out just across the 30. So it's interesting as we say hello from across the field. You've noticed the Colts are bringing a lot of extra rushers, huh?
There's been very few plays, and we talked about the idea of pre- and post-snap looks on defense. For a young quarterback, that's the hardest thing to decipher. And I think early in this game, Matt Eberflus, he feels that. What he sees before the snap, all of a sudden, extra guys are pressuring, whether it's safeties, whether it's second-level linebackers. He's giving continuous new looks almost on every snap early in this game.
And a third down, 3rd and 2. Brandon Bolden is the running back. Colts show extra pressure. They bring it. They come with it, and they get the big tackle for a loss with Leonard. Wow, these Colts are flying on defense right now.
Anytime you want to do these pin and pull plays, we've got to set the edge. But for whatever reason, nobody blocks Darius Leonard. If I'm starting a scheme, I'm probably going to block that guy. But for whatever reason, it's got to be communicated. Typically, these New England Patriots wide receivers are phenomenal run blockers. They're committed to it. For whatever reason, right there, Myers they didn't see him. He came up late, and they just didn't block him.
Remember, the last punt was blocked. This one they get off. Hines. And he's going to let it bounce, and it takes a good bounce in favor of Indianapolis. So the Colts get the ball back, up 14-0 here in Indy. Today on NFL Network, key showdown in the AFC playoff race. Raiders heading to Cleveland to take on the Browns. It's Monday at 5, only on NFL Network, followed by Monday Night Football on ABC and ESPN. If you like football, you basically a game every week, every day of the week coming up. As we welcome you back, Colts have the football, up 14-0. See the first 2 possessions, 3 and out. Then they got the run game going. Then they got a block punt for a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, the league's leading rusher, 6 carries, 33 yards so far. And they give it to him again, running off the right side. And Taylor is going to get up to the 39. Let's go down the sidelines with Christina Pink.
Well, yeah, it's been a while since that Patriots defense has been on the field. In that time, linebacker Jawan Bentley has twice been in the medical tent and back in the locker room. He is now remaining in the tent while they look at his left ankle. Officially, the Patriots are saying he is questionable to return. That's
certainly of note, Christine. I mean, he and Hightower are the 2 inside linebackers. They rotate so much, Greg, and with their personnel and packages, but that, especially against the run game, would be a big loss.
You see Collins and Hightower right here.
Grenade! Kill!
That's what one sees. Pretty cool view. 2nd and 6. Give it to Taylor, right side, across the 40. Bring him a 3rd down. You're always fascinated with teams and like the opening script, how they work it. Why is this week so much more important for Frank Reich? You're getting kind of near the end of the opening script now.
Absolutely. They got about 15 to 20 1st and 2nd down plays that they sit down, and they are very, very specific. They want to unmask the defense. How are you going to match 2 tight ends? How are you going to match 3 wide receivers? How are you going to match certain formations, certain down and distances? Once they get those indicators and they get those tells, now Frank Reich will layer in the rest of his offense as this game progresses, all built on the foundation of what he learns from the opening script.
14th play officially here. Taylor on 3rd down, puts his head down, going to be close, but I think he's going to be short by about 1.5 feet. And so a very intriguing early decision with 4th and less than a yard.
I think you go for it. I think you've got all the game, the energy, the momentum. Everything is in your power right now. Everything's in your favor. I think you got a chance here to deliver it a little bit of an early knockout punch.
So let's see how good that script is, Coach Reich. And Bill Belichick on the other side. And a going for it situation on a 4th and less than a yard. Quarterback sneak for Wentz, and he's got it. He's very good at the quarterback sneak. He's been his whole career, and he did just enough to move the chains.
And it's not a great look to run it against. That was just my offensive line, especially the interior players. Danny Pittner, watch the surge that they get here. That's a tough look for a quarterback sneak. But you notice which guy he got behind? I don't blame him. I'd get behind left guard Quentin Nelson, too. If I'm going to put my life in someone's hands, it's a good guy to start with.
He's not a small person, Greg. I mean, he's 6'5", 330, and well, he's one of the best to do it in this league. 3-time All-Pro. Hines in motion on the fake blitz is picked up beautifully. Wentz has time, floats one into triple coverage and has a completion to Pascal. Oh my, there were Patriots everywhere, and somehow Wentz found him for the hookup of 23.
Sometimes playing running back is not enough just running with the ball. This is Dante Hightower. He's a free runner. Look at Jonathan Taylor. He goes low. That's smart. That's a big guy coming. How do you impact the game as a running back without the ball? That's exactly what you do right there. Wow, what just an all-around special player Jonathan Taylor is. That is tough duty with 54 coming as a free hitter.
And then a beautiful touch by Wentz, who, remember, missed that wide-open Pittman earlier. That time he hits in traffic. Drive continues. First down, Taylor again. Up the middle, not much there. And we're talking about this offensive line. You know, Danny Pinter making his second start. Quentin Nelson, I asked him the other day, do you just like mauling people? He said, it's just business. And it just turns out that the best blocks are when people are on their backs.
And I would say it's a pretty fair assessment. It's not often in these production meetings that we talk to offensive linemen, but we requested him this week because we just heard so many great things about his demeanor and his delivery. And boy, did he not disappoint us. He was fantastic to talk with. This offensive line, they embrace the challenge of continuing to run the ball week in and week out.
They go Taylor and Hines in the backfield. They give it to none of them. Wentz in some trouble, running away for his life. Can run it, has room, will run it. Wentz taking off, first down. Down near the 20, Carson Wentz got away from trouble and picked up the first with an 11-yard run.
Carson Wentz just keeping the play alive the entire time. His eyes are downfield. Very uncharacteristic of this front. Jamie Collins, he loses contain. He dips inside. You can see him there. He just goes down to the ground. They're very, very disciplined traditionally, setting an edge on a pocket, keeping the quarterback contained. In that case, Carson Wentz, who's a very good athlete, is able to get around Jamie Collins' edge. And
Grenade! And kill! You gotta go! Yeah, you gotta go! Sunday!
Play clock at 1. They get it going to Taylor. Tries to get to the edge, does so. Taylor, just so hard to bring down. Phillips finally did, but not before Taylor picks up a nice little chunk. I mean, he averages 5.6 yards a rush. And that time he picked up nearly 7.
Jalen Mills, he's the outside D-gap run fit. Watch T.Y. Hilton. You're going to see him. He pulls the trigger fast. That's his gap. T.Y. Hilton comes down, doesn't block him in the back, just enough to shield him. He doesn't hold, and that's the edge. Again, it's not real often that this Patriots defense allows people to get outside. We've seen it now in the last 2 plays.
And Patriots call a timeout. The Patriots, who come into this game winners of 7 in a row. Yeah, we talked about it to start. The Patriots are the #1 defense in the league. They've been tremendous. And during the 7-game win streak, you know, they've done a little bit of all, right? I mean, they passed it when they've had to. Mac Jones was great a couple weeks ago. Obviously, against Buffalo, they ran it literally the entire game. The D during the win streak has been insane. They're allowing just over 10 points per game. But so far today, Colts offense, they're in a good groove, Greg. I mean, you talk about averaging 7.2 yards per play. That's a good start. Judon out of the game right now. On a 2nd and 3. Taylor. Going to be close to a first down. I think a little short. Give it a yard shy. So a 3rd and short coming up.
Right now for the Patriots, things seem bad, right? Things seem to have gotten off to a poor start. Bill Belichick and this veteran group, they've been here before. Yes, they have a rookie quarterback. Yes, they have some new pieces. But this team is seasoned. They've been here before. They're going to start making some adjustments. He is not going to let this Indianapolis Colts just continue to go up and down the field. You have to imagine at some point he changes things a little bit, because right now Indianapolis has completely controlled this game in all aspects.
Colts bring on an extra offensive lineman on 3rd and 1. Judon's back on the field for the pass. Taylor, first down.
They don't block Judon, but watch these double teams. Watch the movement they get. They get up to everybody. Judon's the free hitter. That back motion just getting in his way just stalls him enough. Jonathan Taylor just needs a crease, and he's going to hit it. But what can you say? This offensive line, they have been really, really impressive so far today.
11th play of this drive. Taylor again. Dancing around and not much there. Well played. Devon Godshaw wrapped him up. It's interesting. We did the Colts game against Tampa Bay a couple weeks ago when they went away from the run early, and the pass game worked for them very, very well. They've done the opposite today. They threw it on the first drive, and it's been, for the most part, run, 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 run.
Frank Reich talked about the dial in his offense, where every game they come in, they say we're going to be relatively 50-50 run pass. And then throughout the course of the game, I might turn the dial one way or another. He said the biggest thing for me, I don't care which way I turn the dial. The biggest thing for me is that dial can never stop. He's continuing to evolve throughout the entire course of the game.
Second and goal. Taylor again. And Taylor is wrapped up. Barmore, the rookie, second rounder of Alabama, was there. And so now a third and goal.
This is the Patriots formula. Even if they get some success in the middle of the field, when they get down into the red zone, the run game cannot be a factor. The first offensive touchdown, of course, by the Colts came on a little trickeration and a little wildcat reverse type thing, but they cannot just allow him to turn the ball and hand it off to Jonathan Taylor and run it in. Force Carson Wentz to be in a pass situation like he is here and try to get off the field and home to a field goal.
This drive is taking up 8 minutes. Two tight ends, third and goal. Wentz, time, fires, incomplete. Boy, Mo Alley Cox had an opportunity, could not bring it home, and now a field goal try.
Kyle Duggar is such a good player. He can play in the box. He can match up here like you see him on a tight end. He's got a window. Alley Cox, that ball's a little high. That ball is supposed to be high. They call it a crossbar throw. That ball is elevated over everyone's head. You're trying to take advantage of a big tight end, a long target. Duggar had good coverage, but that is a ball at this level you just have to catch.
Now Badgley, short one, 25 yards out is good. So a really long drive, took nearly 9 minutes. But they hold them to a field goal. This is a big play on the drive. Beautiful pass from Wentz to Zach Pascal. A lot of Jonathan Taylor and a 17-0 lead for the Colts. The offensive coordinator for the Patriots looked like he was going to be the head coach here in Indianapolis. In fact, he was hired. He took the job, but then, you know, at the last minute said, you know what, I'm not going to take the job. Didn't feel right. Went back to New England. They hired Frank Reich from Philadelphia, and you know, it's worked out for both sides. It really has. I thought Reich had a great quote this week. He said, you know, he was the second choice. Well, obviously, he said the backup role has served me well. Yes, it has.
It's great self-awareness.
He is something else. Reich's done an unreal job along with Chris Bauer, the GM here. So the Patriots just looking to move the ball. They got 38 total yards. Now, obviously, they haven't had it, but when they have, punt, block, punt, and punt. So now how does Josh McDaniels get this group going? On the fake, Jones pressure, steps away, throws complete. Bourne's got the catch. Up around the 39-yard line. That'll be first down for New England.
Kendrick Bourne's been a great addition to this team. When you just first mentioned his name to Josh McDaniels, he about jumped through the call. He just said his energy, the way he practices, the way he plays, he's been like a breath of fresh air around here. They're going to need to find more ways to get these receivers involved, start getting Mac Jones into a little bit of a rhythm here. So they got a long hill to climb.
That's Bourne, number 84, in motion. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Stevenson hasn't gotten going yet. That'll get him going. Big bruising run and a first down into Colts territory. as Stevenson picks up 13.
You mentioned he might not gotten the ball a lot in Oklahoma, but man, he is really good. Double team up to the second level, kick out here, and now he's just going to find the zone. It's going to allow him, he's going to press the hole, and he's just going to find the slight cutback. He is really, really good. They said he's learned a lot from Damian Harris about sometimes if there's not a hole, just make it. He's a big, physical, strong guy. He's a really good young player.
On the fake, Jones. It is almost intercepted. It was intended for a Jonnu Smith high, and boy, Corey Willis certainly had an opportunity at it. But instead, it's just second down.
If you're Jonnu Smith, you got to stay outside by those numbers. You start coming inside, you start drifting to the middle. Not only do those deflected passes turn into interceptions, if you're not careful, guy's gonna knock you out.
Yeah, Jonnu Smith, one of the feeling like 8 million free agent haul like the Patriots had. He hasn't been as effective in the pass game, though. His 26 catches coming into today. Second down, couple of fakes, pressure coming. Jones floats one. Henry, the other tight end, beautiful throw, and Hunter Henry down to the 21.
You mentioned Jonnu Smith. The guy who is getting it is Hunter Henry. He is very personal. Watch how he dips inside and then crosses face. Inside stem, they call it inside stem. It looks like he's running an over route. That defender wants to jump underneath him. You stick now, you make your move to the outside. Ball's on time, ball's in rhythm. These are the chunk plays they need to get some life in this offense.
Yeah, Henry's got the second most touchdowns among tight ends in the league with 7 of them, so he's been great. Good looking drive for the Patriots, trying to get back in it. Myers on the jet sweep and shimmies his way inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Got a nice block from Henry. With 2:17 to go in this first half. I mean, this is what's at stake. 99 straight games since being shut out in the first half. As clock winding down, that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So they got 2 minutes to figure it out to keep that streak going. 17-0 Colts, but the Patriots, nice looking drive. 2 minutes to go in this first half. 17-0 Colts. Patriots, though, knocking on the door. Reminder to stick around for the Lexus halftime report coming your way after those 2 minutes are done. So the Colts have dominated, but the Patriots finally putting a drive together. 6th play of this drive, 62 yards so far, and they've got 2 minutes trying to get it in the end zone. And penalty flag will move them back.
5-yard penalty, second down.
Kenny Moore had limped off the last play. See, he's coming back on. Greg, what happened?
Really nice job here. Watch them stunt. They do this on purpose. That quick sudden movement, that's kind of a Patriots special. Jonnu Smith falls for it. Really, really good. Came up at the right time. We've seen the Patriots do that for years. Bill Belichick has always done that. This time, Colts gave him a little taste of his own medicine.
Side. Bolden trying to stretch it out. Good pursuit by the Colts brings up 3rd down.
Watch the speed over the top here to chase this ball lateral. Bolden does a nice job. That could have been a tackle for loss. Muhammad just couldn't quite. But now look, it looks like he's got the edge. And then look at the speed. Sendejo, Rhodes, these guys are running to the ball.
So timeout on the field, be a 3rd down and 3. That's a quick timeout. Jones, 3-step drop, throws, intercepted. Darius Leonard has it with the stiff arm, and he's taken down inside the 5. But another turnover for the defense that's got the most in the league. Darius A turnover machine, his third interception of the year. And it thwarts a good Patriots drive. Colts, 17-0 their ball.
On the Verbo app.
Think about this for Darius Leonard. The Colts lead the league in turnovers, 30 of them on the year. Darius Leonard has been involved with 11 of them by himself. It's incredible. He's a machine. His third interception of the year, the first red zone pick from Mac Jones. And boy, what a momentum changer that was. As the Colts up 17-0, take over, 1:43 to go. They will run it to Taylor. Big hole. Taylor up across the 10. And he's got 10 yards. So what happened on the pick, Greg?
We've talked about how Mac Jones has done a great job starting his eyes in the right direction. N'Keal Harry's going to run a sluggo. And then Hunter Henry's, they're going to try to get this ball here. But he does not see Darius Leonard drop right under it. He comes off the sluggo quick. He relocates his eyes. But it's just the wrong spot. If he's going to put that ball there, he's got to put some arc on it. He's got to put some pace on it to try to get over his head. But as you mentioned, Darius Leonard just has a nose for the ball.
Crazy nose. They gave 9 to Taylor on the last run. He'll dance around. Look at this maneuver. I mean, it's like a video game, and he gets out near the 20. And now we'll see how the Colts manage this with 2 timeouts to go and 55 seconds and a half.
Yeah, the first, when they're backed up like that, you don't want to do anything crazy. All of a sudden, you throw a few incompletes. You allow New England to take a timeout or two. All of a sudden, you punt and give them another possession. So I think this is smart by Frank Reich. Everything has gone his way. I don't think you need to push the envelope deep in your own territory here before half. Feels pretty good going in at 17-0.
Yeah, Patriots, remember, deferred on the opening coin toss, so they do get the ball to start the second half. League's leading rusher will get it again. Boy, has he been good in this first half. Not much there, though. That's his 18th carry of the first half. So Colts fans wondering, boy, you got to feed Jonathan Taylor. 18 carries and a half, good enough? I'd say, yeah. What a performance for Indianapolis. The offense was humming. The defense pitches a shutout, and special teams delivered a punt for a touchdown. All going well as we go to the break, 17-0. And coming up, the Lexus halftime report.
Especially this year. They've been so good in all areas. The defense obviously being #1. This offense has been really opportunistic, taking advantage of the different elements of the game, and just really out of sync right now.
Jones, 3-step drop, quick throw far side. Myers has it, but decked immediately by Rodgers. It's going to be a 3rd down and short. Here's who's in the driver's seat, presented by Infinity. This Colts defense, 15 straight games of the takeaway. Block, punt, return for a touchdown. Sack, interception. That's what they bring to the table. They've had a takeaway in every game this year. And that's usually what leads to their victories. 3rd down and 1. Bolden in the backfield. Myers in motion. One-man rush. And that is intercepted. Another turnover. Okereke. Bobby Okereke joins the turnover parade.
Everything right now is just going their way. This is a little bit of a change-up. You saw with the pre-snap motion. This is man-to-man coverage. Okereke, he has Bolden out of the backfield here on the right side of your screen, and he just undercuts. It's a wide route. The running back's just going to come out of the backfield and kind of bend to the sideline. That is an incredible play for an inside backer. We talk a lot about Darius Leonard and his ability to find the ball and generate turnovers. Okereke, he got to look like Darius Leonard on that one, laying out completely horizontal for that ball. Matt Eberflus continues to change what he's showing Mac Jones. They've shown zone. They've shown zone pressures. Wow. He is doing a really nice job that time. That man look kind of spooked Mac Jones. Wasn't sure where to go. He was late. As a result, the ball got picked.
And so now look at the field position. Jonathan Taylor's first half, 18 carries, 73 yards. On the fake, Wentz, little sidearm toss, and that goes nowhere. Duggar on the big hit on Doyle.
So some of those RPOs, we haven't seen a lot of the RPO, right? He's going to be out in the gun. They're going to spread him out and try to just account for that extra run defender and put a pass tag. But when the Patriots play this man coverage, that's typically not the kind of looks you want to run the RPO into. Typically need that zone defender who is in the quarterback's read. This is more what we've seen. Under center, a little more traditional downhill run game with Jonathan Taylor.
Grenade! Kill! Let's go forward! Grenade! Shut!
Fake pitch to Taylor. Wentz rolling, looking, firing. That was nearly intercepted by J.C. Jackson, who is one of the best ball hawks in the league. He's got 7 picks on the year, and he almost had 8.
Trevon Diggs in Dallas, he gets a lot of credit. He gets a lot of notoriety. J.C. Jackson is as good, if not better, than any corner in the entire National Football League. It's not often that he gets his hands on the ball and doesn't come down with it. I thought Carson Wentz got a little greedy there. I think on that he has a guy right in front of him. Zach Pascal's wide open in the flat. Just give him the ball. He got greedy. He went to the second level. J.C. Jackson almost made him pay.
And what it does is bring up a 3rd down and 10. Colts 2 of 5 on 3rd downs today. Blitz coming. Wentz in trouble. Looking around, and he is sacked. Dietrich Wise got there, so did Judon, and after the turnover, the Patriots defense gets a big hold.
Yeah, Wise gets the sack, but look at the pressure initially that Matthew Judon gets on Carson Wentz. This is what gets him off his spot. Look, he's got to shuffle up. He gets his right hand on him. He stays alive enough. Then Wise is there to kind of finish him off. Matthew Judon was the star of this free agency class. You touched on it before. It seemed like they spent $1 billion in free agency this year. Money well spent. Especially with Matthew Judon, his impact on this defense has been huge this year.
So they'll settle for a 46-yard field goal try by Michael Badgley. Set from 25 here today. This kick is up, and that is no good. There's a penalty flag, too. And the Patriots may have jumped off sides here, so he may get a reprieve. Let's see. Oh, that's for sure. Looks like that's on New England. A lot of discussion here.
The other end of the field, Matthew Judon and Carson Wentz were on the numbers in each other's face, screaming. I don't know what happened.
Offside, number 36, defense. 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
So this is what you were talking about.
Carson Wentz came off the sideline. He walked all the way out to the numbers. See DeForest Buckner kind of gets in front of his quarterback, and pass rusher, not exactly sure what happened. Of course, he got sacked. That is, back to that offside. You can't do that. You force a field goal attempt. He misses it.
So now it's from 41 yards out, and now it's good. So that penalty cost the Patriots 3 points.
It's just so uncharacteristic of a Bill Belichick defense.
So the interception by Okereke, a beauty. 2nd pick for this Colts defense here tonight. Patriots defense does hold to a field goal, but still it's 20-0. Indy. Mo Lewis, a hit on Bledsoe. Brady took over. We all know what happened after that. And Mac Jones has been so good this year with this Patriots team. Winners of 7 in a row. Win today, and they jump back in the 1 seed in the AFC. But these Colts have been terrific in really every aspect. Up 20-0 now. 2 more turnovers for Indy here today. And they'll start on their own 25. And Greg, the question is, you know, we talk about Mac Jones and how good he's been. And he has been great. He's been cool. He's been poised. But he still is a rookie. And do you think for the first time this year, or at least since the first couple of weeks, does he look a little overwhelmed today?
He does, and I think this is a product of the way the game started. The traditional way they've been playing offense has been so dependent on either having a lead or finding themselves in a close game throughout. All of a sudden, you snap your fingers, you're down 14-0, the sky's falling, and all of a sudden now you're a young quarterback, and you're making young quarterback mistakes.
It's the largest deficit of the year for New England. Gotta get Stevenson going, and that's been tough sledding. He does move it up to the 30 for a gain of 5. Let's go down to the sidelines with Pam.
Hey there, Kevin. Yeah, those quick release quarterbacks like Mac Jones can be a pain for pass rushers. The only solution is to just not let up. DeForest Buckner told me that. Getting after quarterbacks who get rid of the ball as quickly as Jones does create a lot of frustration, but you can't let it impact the rush.
Yeah, they've gotten pressure. They've sent a lot of pressure. That's been part of it, too. Stevenson again. And Colts say the ball came out, and they're pointing like they've got it. Let's see. Have to come in and uncover the pile.
Officials. Yeah, Jonnu Smith comes up with it. That ball was out. Royalties are coming to Peanut Pillman. Peanut Tillman and the Peanut Bunch. We say it every week, not only on our broadcast, on every broadcast throughout the NFL.
It was Leonard again.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
But New England does recover, so they get it back still with a 3rd down and 2 here. Only 2 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Whoa, look at this. Something's amiss. Taylor Stallworth almost took the snap. And maybe he was a little early.
A little early. A little early. I appreciate the effort. He thought he had a beat on the snap count. So it's a silent count. Watch Andrews when he lifts his head. These D linemen, they get a time. They get a clock in their head. They start timing that head nod to when the ball moves. And he was just a fraction early.
It was either an offsides penalty or the greatest get-off in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, it was pretty clearly a penalty.
So it gives them a 1st down. Patriots needed that. Only got 120 yards here of offense. Had the one big drive and then the interception killed that inside the 10. Jones loads up, going deep. There's coverage there. And another near pick. Kenny Moore, perfect coverage. He was all over Nelson Aguilar.
Kenny Moore, he is playing at a Pro Bowl level. He can line up in the slot. You're going to see him here. He's lined up one-on-one outside. He's got him. They're going to try to get him on a little double move. The old out and up. But look at the way he stays on top. And the key, his eyes come back, hands attack through the catch point. If you're looking for textbook defensive back play, that's the clinic tape right there by Kenny Moore.
He was undrafted in 2017. Patriots had him in camp. They cut him. Came here. He's becoming a star.
One of the few that got away in Bill Belichick.
You're right. 2nd down. Stevenson and penalty flies. And that looks like a hold.
And Kenny Moore forced that penalty. He came on a little nickel pressure. And Kendrick Bourne just tackled him.
Illegal block in the back. Number 84. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, not a hold, but a block in the back. It's going to move them back. We were talking with Kenny Moore the other day. And marveling, you were saying, how do you go about it? You can play everywhere. I loved his story, how he got so good at playing all these different positions. I mean, they list him at nickel, but he does a lot more.
He can play everything. He's playing in the slot. And sometimes the slot receiver, in his own words, said is the forgotten defensive back. He actually made a big campaign push that nickel position should be in the Pro Bowl. But he can line up in the slot. You see him there in run support, drawing the penalty. He can play on the edge, one-on-one. He's a great player.
2nd down and long. Jones has it blocked up. Coming near side. Aguilar makes that catch. Not even back at the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be a 3rd and long.
Get a feel here for how Josh McDaniels wants to approach the rest of this game. These are the situations you don't want your young quarterback to be in. 3rd and plus 10, 11, 12 yards. Those are must-pass situations. Do you play aggressive and let him drop back and push the ball? Do you play it conservative and say this is 4-down territory? See which approach he wants to take.
Colts rush 4. Jones, pressure comes, gets rid of it. Aguilar goes up and makes the catch, but he's going to be short of a 1st down. He had to come back and get it. And now do you go for it? They're going to go to the line quickly.
Yeah, I think you got to go for it here. Of course, you're down 20, but take a look at this catch. This is really good coverage. Look at his strong hands. It might not be a great spot. He might have caught that ball at or past that yellow line. I know it's not official. I'm not sure exactly where that ball was marked. Nonetheless,
Huge play. 4th and 1. Sprint out. Jones gonna throw one to nowhere. Incomplete. Colts get a stop. Darius Leonard and this defense flying around here in Indy. They get it back up 20. 20-0 Indianapolis on a 4th and 1. New England went for it in a play that looked like a disaster. And now Indianapolis, these fans have been roaring all night here tonight on a Saturday night, and they are playing the best game they have all year, and they've played some good ones since a rough start when you think about it. They're off to a 1-4 start. They've won 6 of 8.
Grenade! Cross dog, here we go. 20!
Fake to Taylor. Wentz over the middle. Pittman, it's knocked away. J.C. Jackson, outstanding play. So what was that on 4th down, Greg?
they're just going to run a slight little roll out to the right. They bring Hunter Henry over. He's going to delay. He's the first read. He's just got to get his eyes around. Look, he's trying to throw him the ball. He doesn't look until it's too late. He tries to come off and throw it over the top to the deep player. Aguilar, he got kind of twisted up. I don't think Hunter Henry was expecting the ball. You got to get your head around. It's 4th and a yard. We're trying to throw you the ball.
Taylor. And just always gets positive yards. He's played, by the way, every single snap today, too. Look, he came in today, leads the league in everything, right? Rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, scrimmage touchdowns. He's also a fascinating guy. He wants to get into space travel when he's done playing. I'm not kidding. In the NFL, he said, I don't know if I'll have enough money to build my own spaceship.
He's maybe with Strahan on the next flight to space.
That's what he said.
But what did Chris Ballard tell us? We visited with Chris Ballard. We go way back to my early days in Chicago, and he was on the scouting staff there. He said, what's the best thing I can say about Jonathan Taylor? You could give him the ball 40 times, and when you see him in the locker room, you didn't even think he played. He said the guy is just an incredible athlete.
Wentz looks like a run. I don't know if that was by design or not, but he's close to a first down. I don't know if he got there. It might be third, make it 4th and about a half yard. See where they spot this. It's close. And he is a little bit short.
Yeah, that was a design run all the way. That's just a traditional zone read type concept. They're going to pull the backside guard. He can either give it or he can pull it and follow his offensive lineman. It's kind of a cue counter type concept.
They had one of these earlier in the game, and they had Carson Wentz sneak for a first down. See if they go back to the well. They do, and he gets it again.
Great job identifying the soft spot in the defense. The Patriots lined up 2 defensive linemen in the A-gaps, meaning between the center and both guards. He sensed that they were a little light there off to the left edge. See, they just got a stand-up guy here. There's a lot of space, and he's just going to get right behind you-know-who, Quentin Nelson. But just look how soft that whole side of the front is. Easy conversion. It's kind of a surprise to not see a third interior D lineman with their hand on the ground.
Wentz has a knack for that. He's pretty good at it.
He's really good.
It's an art, because not every quarterback is good at it.
Absolutely.
Jonathan Taylor out for the first play of the game. That's Hines in motion, number 21 for him. On first down, we'll roll out. Wentz taps it, throws, and that was nearly intercepted. Jamie Collins had his hands on it. And by the way, speaking of Jamie Collins, he's playing a lot more today. Juwan Bentley has been ruled out, Christina Pink tells us, so that's obviously a big loss. Got hurt in the first half.
And that's a pick 6. These are just, we've seen such uncharacteristic missed opportunities by this Patriot team. They've thrived all year on when they get their hands on the ball, it's a pick. In that case, it's probably a pick and 6 the other direction. They're just slightly off making these plays that have come their way.
Here's Taylor. Taylor puts the pads down, chugs forward. And he's inside the 30. Now a skirmish breaks out. Wow. This has been really chippy the last couple of series. Matthew Judon has come over to the Colts bench the last 2 series during breaks and play. Pittman had his helmet come off. And you see it rolling around there. Well, Pam Oliver told us during the break that Pittman was really frustrated, went over and kicked the cooler, which you wouldn't think because they're up 20, but maybe there's a little beef going on the field.
You're going to see him. He gets right in Duggar's face. He's smart to keep his helmet on. Oh, man.
Well, that's why.
If the ref saw Duggar throw the punch and rip his helmet off, he could be out. He might be out of the game, Kevin. And that's a huge loss. So just a physical run block. Both of these receivers on both teams are committed to run blocking. It'll be interesting to see how they settle this one out.
Well, I mean, at the very least, it's got to be, you think, a penalty on Duggar, but you're right. We'll see now how they deem it and what they saw. And New York can get involved with this decision, too. I don't mean like the entire city of New York. I mean like the replay building at the NFL. They could go and look, and they can make a determination if the player would be ejected. Why don't we just start talking about New York and bring in our rules expert, Mike Pereira. Mike, what do you think here? Watch this play. Is this enough for an ejection here?
Yeah.
Personal foul, number 23, defense. He has been disqualified from further play. Personal foul, number 11, offense. He has also been disqualified from further play.
Wow. Mike, so sorry about that. Threw it to you at the wrong time. Tell me about what you just heard.
Yeah, well, that's New York being involved. Once the flag gets thrown, now New York can look at the whole play, and if they see anything that they think should be an ejection, even though the officials didn't originally rule that, then they can get involved and call for the ejection. I will tell you that this game, as you said, has gotten chippy. So I'm sure that enters into the decision here to take the strong action to try to get control, and that probably led to part of the decision of going with an ejection on each team.
Interesting, yeah, because I'm sure Colts fans are saying, wait a second. It was, you know, Pittman's helmet who got ripped off, but they decide to throw both players. I see Darius Leonard is kind of arguing that point. There's been a lot of talking, and again, I don't know what started it, but the last couple of series you pointed out, you know, Patriots players have come near the Colts bench. Pittman showing anger, as Pam told us, and then that was just, well, Pittman's got to go. He's kind of hanging on the field now, but you saw Duggar. So Duggar and Pittman, that's a swap. Both are gone from the game. And now we'll see how the Colts respond on a 3rd and 3 after all that was sorted out. He's going to run it to Taylor. And Taylor runs into Adrian Phillips, and he is stopped.
And both teams just kind of lost their minds there for a little bit. And I think it ended up really costing the Colts a little more. They had a lot of momentum going on this drive. You have a chance to go in and make it 27. You lose your composure. Let the opponent take the swing. Let the opponent get the penalty. Now all of a sudden both teams lose 2 of their best players on their respective side of the ball, offsetting penalties, and now you're attempting a long field goal.
49 yards from Badgley. He's got 2 of them here today. This one is up, and he hooked it. No good. And so if there was ever a time for the Patriots to get back in the game, this would be it. Still a long way to go, but it's 20-0 Colts. Pat's ball next. Network Thursday Night Football. The Niners continuing their fight for a playoff spot. Titans have another shot at the AFC South crown. Of course, the Colts have something to say about that. Thursday Night Football, Thursday at 8 on the NFL Network and NFL app. We'll be there for that one. Look forward to that. 20-0 Colts here. Patriots get a stop, a missed field goal after the fight broke out. And now how do they respond? Mac Jones, good start. Over the middle and a completion. And Hunter Henry has it for first down as we go downstairs to Christina Pink.
They're off the field, and then, you know, obviously we saw that fight on on the field. Devin McCourty, the wily veteran on this Patriots defense, implored everybody to get together. Said, guys, keep our cool, keep our composure. You see Bill Belichick there speaking to that defense. They're trying to keep their cooler heads here as this game gets chippy. Yeah,
it's gotten chippy a long time ago. Jones has time, delivers, and Aguilar held on. He got hit hard. Darius Leonard with a pop. I hope that Aguilar is okay. Gosh, he's made a couple of great catches in this third quarter.
Yeah, they're going to bring him. They're going to stop this and bring him and take a look. But you said it. He's made some unbelievable catches. This is great coverage. Xavier Rhodes is right in his pocket, and then he knows that hit's coming. You can see after the hit, he kind of goes down, but give him a lot of credit. The fact that he held on to that ball, not only through a contested play by Rhodes, but a huge shot by Darius Leonard right in the face.
And so I hope Aguilar is okay. It's a 10-yard gain. It's a first down. Patriots on the move. They go jumbo formation. Stevenson just 9 carries for 30 yards in the backfield. Again, playing without Damian Harris. Stevenson gets the hole and then gets popped just out the 30. Man, there's some hitting going on right now. The Sendejo, well, he's done his hit his entire career.
You see they come in, they bring in the jumbo. We saw it so much last week. This is just traditional power. This is one of the few significant holes we've seen Stevenson have the chance. But look at Andrew Sendejo. Comes from his deep safety spot and just sticks him. Hasn't been a lot of those running lanes. That was a good one right there.
Second and 4. Blitz coming. Leonard coming. Jones gets rid of it to nowhere. Incomplete. Jonnu Smith, the intended receiver. They've had a hard time hooking up today. And it brings up third down.
He's got a shot there. He's in space. He's open. It's just the timing is off because Darius Leonard is ripping off the ball. You see him. He comes around the edge. He's unblocked. Just a mix-up up front, and Mac Jones feels it. So instead of letting Jonnu Smith continue to work towards open space in the zone, that ball needs to come out. It just throws off the entire timing.
Pressure. Buckner. Jones across his body. It's caught. Unbelievable for a first down. Hunter Henry, that throw looked nuts when he let it go, but it works. And they move the chains.
That's one of those as a coach, when he throws it, you're saying, no, no, no. And then he catches it, and you're like, take a deep breath. This goes against every rule in football. You never throw the ball back across your body into the middle of the field. Harry can't quite get there. Hunter Henry kind of just boxes him out. Early pressure from Forrest Buckner. He took a shot at the end. You saw Mac Jones get up a little hobbled.
What a big play. Drive continues. Blitz coming. Picked up Henry again inside the 15. And Hunter Henry working it down to the 12.
Hunter Henry's come to life. You talked about Jonnu Smith. His role brought in both Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry in this big free agent class. Jonnu Smith handles a lot of on-the-ball, run, pass protection. Hunter Henry's really been the favorite tight end in the receiving game. We've seen him come to life here in this drive.
He's the leading receiver in the game, Greg. 4 catches, 58 yards.
I know I'm biased, KB, but young quarterbacks just throw the ball to the tight end.
I know.
That's the easiest guy.
Why even play with wide receivers? Who needs them?
Just bring them all in.
From the 12. Smith gets it. Jonnu Smith gets a block. Diving towards the pylon is the end. They're determining, did he get there? There's a penalty flag, too.
Telling you, just give the ball to the tight ends. Either throw it to him, hand it to him. I have a feeling this one might be coming back, but I like the play design. You don't see tight ends get a lot of handouts.
Offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Yeah, they marked him short of the end zone, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's on Jacoby Myers.
You're going to see he gives that kind of buck sweep. Myers does a nice job, and then he just brings him to the ground. He has a nice block. He's just got to pull off. He did his job by sealing Sendejo. You see it right here in the middle of the screen. I like the play design. Josh McDaniels changing it up a little bit, taking some of the pressure off his young quarterback. But again, a critical error at an inopportune time for the Patriots.
Still no points on the board for New England, and that'll move them back even more. Isaiah Wynn moved early. And the crowd gets louder. I see Nelson Aguilar being escorted to the locker room. Hopefully he's okay. Don't know if he's coming back. Uncharacteristic mistakes for the Patriots. They usually don't make them. Now 1st and 23. They got to get down inside the 3-yard line for a first down. Jones, pressure, set up a screen. Bolden's got it. Bolden with some room. And spinning his way inside the 15. Good run. And that may take us to the end of this third quarter.
Much better job. We saw earlier in the game the Patriots tried to do one of those double screens. You saw Mac Jones kind of do the whirly bird. Much better timing. Just trying to get back some of that penalty yardage.
That will take us to the end of the third. So the Colts and their defense pitching a shutout so far. A lot of work to do for New England to get back into it. 20-0 after 3. 20-0 Colts. We start the fourth quarter in Indianapolis. The Patriots absolutely have to score a touchdown here. They've got it on the 12. 2nd and 10. Jones pressure, steps up, throws, end zone, caught for the touchdown. Hunter Henry for 6.
The touchdown to Hunter Henry came alive this entire drive. You're going to see Hunter Henry start right here. He's going to run just a deep crossing route. Once he gets on that side of Andrew Sendejo, the free safety, ball. Right? You're talking about clearing a window. Mac Jones has his eyes downfield. That was the drive Mac Jones needed. That was the drive this whole Patriots team needed to just take a deep breath and settle in here to start the fourth quarter.
Extra point up and good. So in a game that Jones and the Patriots offense has really struggled, there's a long way to go. Henry's 8th touchdown of the year, a career high. Pats trying to claw their way back. Colts beat the Patriots 2009. Peyton Manning got the best of Tom Brady. Back and forth all game. It's been a while, right? New England's won 8 in a row. Colts have played a terrific game. They had a punt block for a touchdown. Defense had a shutout till moments ago with the Patriots desperately needed something. They got a touchdown on the board. Hunter Henry, a big drive. 5 catches, 70 yards. His 8th TD of the year, career high for him. And now the Colts, a lot of time left. Well, an NFL Christmas doubleheader. Big playoff implications, too. Browns and the Packers first, and then primetime Colts take on the Cardinals. NFL Christmas doubleheader kicks off 3:30 on NFL Network, Fox, and Prime Video. Great shot of Lucas Oil Stadium. Downtown Indianapolis. Great place to come if you've never been here. There's so much to do. A lot of good eating, Greg. We've done our share of that this weekend since we've been here. There you go. This is the shot for Greg Olsen. Nothing but tight ends.
Hey, I'm telling you, we called it earlier in the drive. They threw Henry 3 for a tug. Johnny Smith had one, albeit called back, and they scored. It's not a coincidence.
So now here's Taylor. Not much there. Now I want to see how the Colts respond. Remember, Michael Pittman, the #1 receiver, thrown out of the game. Not that he was doing much in the past game, but take him out of the game, it's a big deal.
Yeah, and you have to give credit to the Patriots. Since that early kind of blitz start by the Colts, the opening, the touchdown offensively, then the block punt, you saw it on the box score. These last couple quarters, the defense of the Patriots have really bounced back. But now, here you are. You're the Colts. This is where a run game matters. Everyone talks about yardage and all that. Can you run the ball when you need to run the ball? You mentioned Pittman's not here, but your #1 passing weapon. This run game's going to have to carry them through this quarter if they're going to get out of here with a win.
Taylor's got 85 yards. It's a fake to him here, though. T.Y. Hilton running wide open. Breaks a tackle. First down and more for Hilton. That's his first catch today. And the crowd energized by the longtime Colts.
They love T.Y. Hilton here. We said, who's going to step up for Pittman? Well, T.Y. is a guy that's been doing it a long time. You're going to see him here in the little stack with Pascal. Pascal does a nice job making the defender go over the top. Staring down Dante Hightower right in his face. Wentz delivers the ball. on time, on the money. I like that they're staying aggressive.
He's been such a good player for this organization. 4-time Pro Bowls, tough year. A neck surgery, quad injury, concussion. He's only played 6 games. That one goes for 20 yards. Here's Wentz. Pressure, tip, and it's intercepted. The Patriots get the turnover with Devin McCourty. The last thing the Colts could have had right there. Comfortably in front, and now New England has some life. Wentz with a mistake. Did Collins get a hand on it? He did. McCourty picks it off, and New England has it back. Well, Devin McCourty, 12th year in New England, comes up with a pick. Jamie Collins got his hands on it. The Colts, that's the last thing they needed to give the Patriots a little bit more life. On the fake now, Jones floats one, triple coverage. And that's incomplete for Myers. So what happened? What was Wentz seeing on that interception?
He's just not seeing enough. Pascal, who's off the screen, is going to kind of run across. We're going to try to clear out the zone. It's just a little token play action. Now, there's no one there. This window is where he's trying to throw it. Jamie Collins is dead in front of his face. Just throw it out of bounds. It's 1st and 10. They don't fall for the bootleg play action type. It's 1st down. Live to play another down. Throw that ball out of bounds into the bleachers, and it's 2nd and 10, and you line up and you play another down.
2nd down. Blitz is coming. Jones stands in, and incomplete. N'Keal Harry with his first target today, but Rhodes have pretty good coverage, and a 3rd and long coming up.
There's great coverage by Xavier Rhodes. The combination of Xavier Rhodes and Kenny Moore really gives them 2 talented corners on both sides. And they bring in Rock Yassin on nickel. Isaiah Rock, they got a lot of really good defensive backs here. It gives Matt Eberflus a lot of creativity as he builds his coverage plan.
Blitz coming. Jones sees it, unloads it to Bolden. Got a way to go, and he gets there. He had to sprint to the marker, and he did enough. And the drive continues for New England, and Brandon Bolden's got 12.
Really nice job here. It's a basic zone. They're going to just look at Kenny Moore. If he sits on the little squat route, you're going to throw the swing. If he expands, you throw it there to the receiver. Bolden gets on the edge. The second that defender, Kenny Moore in this case, is flat-footed, you spit the ball out to your back, and you tell him, go chase that 1st down sticks.
Bolden stays in. Give it to him. Nothing there. Oh, it's a late flea flicker. And now Jones has a man open, and he missed him. Tried to get it to Myers. That was kind of a delayed, slow flea flicker. You were jumping around. What did you see?
N'Keal Harry was wide open. I just don't think he trusted that he had enough time. You can see there was penetration. This was a really slow developing flea flicker. Bolden couldn't even find Mac Jones, so I think once Mac Jones caught it, he said, I got to get rid of this ball. But if he had a little more time, N'Keal Harry is 30 yards past the nearest defender.
And we get an injury here. Is that Rhodes? We'll check it out. I think it's Xavier Rhodes. Injury timeout in Indy.
Told you about N'Keal Harry. He's going to just kind of jog and do nothing. And then the second Xavier Rhodes comes and runs support. Watch. I'm not doing anything. I'm not blocking you. And he runs right by him. They got what they looked for. It just didn't match up with the protection. Mac Jones felt the pressure and had to get rid of the ball. They had a shot there.
So they missed a big opportunity on 2nd down. Jones now over the middle. So they get it to Harry this time, who turns around and makes a fine catch. And he's close to a 1st down. That's his first catch here today. And they'll mark him a yard short. 3rd and 1.
Got to imagine right now the message going into Mac Jones is we've got 2 downs. Offensive line, we might give you a shot here. 2 handoffs to try to get this 1st down. This game, they've sensed that it's shifted a little bit.
They will Stevenson is stopped. Leonard was there. He had some help from Rodgers, and now a 4th down. And you would think they've got to go.
I think you have to. I think before that play was even called, Belichick's telling Josh McDaniels they just don't have enough guys on the edge. There's penetration in the backfield. It's an unblocked defender right at the legs of the back. I think they might have actually lost yardage on that. This is actually a longer down a distance than 3rd down was.
Fourth down, Jones straight drop over the middle. He's got it. First down and more. Myers spinning inside the 25. A big conversion, and Jones delivers. Jacoby Myers did the dirty work, and the Patriots move on. The drive continues.
These last 2 drives, Mac Jones just seems a lot more comfortable, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's going through his progressions. He's confident in the pocket. He understands the timing of when the protection hasn't exactly held up. These last 2 drives have been a great answer, because through the first 3 quarters, it was a bit of a struggle.
Bolden, more trickery. Bourne on the reverse, gets a block. Kendrick Bourne inside the 10, and he's inside the 5. And the ball did come loose at the end. And they say he was down. The Colts say they have it. But I believe the ruling on the field say down. Let's look if he was. Let's see. Yeah, he's down.
Yeah, he's down. Matt Eberflus, again, everything he told us this week has come to life on the field. He said every single play, there must be at least one attempt to strip the ball, whether it's a punch, whether it's a front tip or a back tip pull. Got that ball out now a few times.
First and goal. Jones on the fake, looking, firing high. Myers the intended target.
I like it. First down. It's a great opportunity for a hard run action. Myers was open. Would have been a tough throw, a tough completion. He's got to elevate that ball over Kenny Moore, but I like that. Again, you understand. You're telling your quarterback, we got 4 downs here. The settling for a field goal, I just don't think that's in play. I think you've got this entire game now has flipped to your advantage. You've got to keep your foot on the gas and go in. You've got to come away with the touchdown here if you're New England.
10th play of this drive, 2nd and goal. Bolden's got it, tries to get to the edge. It's not there, cuts up front. He's going to be denied. He gets a couple down to the 1 as Rhodes was there, and here comes another 3rd down. Remember, this started with a Devin McCourty interception. Tipped by Collins. Bad decision by Wentz, and now the Patriots have a 3rd and goal.
Running the jumbo tight end, Jonnu Smith. We've talked he's kind of the run specialist of the tight end group. You see him here. I think they jumped off sides. Oh, my God, they false started.
Number 71. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's on Michael Wenu, the jumbo tackle who comes in these situations. That's the 8th penalty on New England. It's 3 more than they average per game. Makes it a lot longer situation now. Back it out to the 7.
Changes the entire approach now. Go from having the ball at the 1-yard line, clearly a 4-down try, to now a lot depends on the success of this 3rd down.
Jones, pressure, in trouble, spinning, way back there, firing for the corner. Henry was open, but that would have been an unbelievable play. And actually, the officials had his off, so I think Henry actually went out of bounds. So even if he caught it, it wouldn't have been a touchdown. So 4th and goal, and they bring on the field goal team.
Harry Willis getting him back has been a huge lift for the secondary. Really smart play. Once the quarterback breaks the pocket, you are allowed to make contact as a defensive player, and they teach them, force the offensive player to step out of bounds. He's no longer an eligible receiver to touch the ball first. Well coached and well executed there by Willis on a critical 3rd down.
So they're going to settle for a field goal here. Interesting decision, and Folk from 25 yards makes it a 10-point game. So that penalty really hurt the play calling. And the Colts D gets a stop. But the Patriots get a little closer. Colts up by 10. 8:57 left. Have a 10-point lead, but they're cognizant of this. They have had some issues holding on to leads of double digits this year. They were 20-0. It's now 20-10. And still 8:57 left in this game. That one all started because the Wentz interception, McCourty picked it off and go down and get a field goal. Penalty really hurt New England. It's still a 10-point game. Just under 9 minutes to play. Rodgers. Upended, dances across the 20. It's time now for tonight's Next Gen Stats, powered by AWS. Well, J.C. Jackson, one of the best corners in the league. We've seen it on display tonight. You're looking at passer rating allowed, which essentially means how hard it is to throw in his direction. You see first, first, and second the last 4 years. It's almost impossible to have a completion that way, let alone when it is over there, he intercepts it, right?
And when you have a player of his caliber and you're kind of putting together your defensive package, you can almost erase one entire offensive player, or you can erase an entire side of the field. It's like the old days with Darrelle Revis, right? Revis Island. You can just take an element of the offense out of the picture when you have a guy so talented.
Taylor. Gotta get the run game back going. He breaks a couple tackles and has a first down. Jonathan Taylor.
Just the typical inside zone. You're going to see they get up to the second level. Really nice. And then you see Mo Alley Cox. He goes backside, 81. He holds off the back. Now here's how he's going to set it up. It's just really, really good open field running, and then the rest is just his physical skill set, right? He's big, he's strong, he's hard to tackle, but he's so smart with the ball in his hand.
Taylor again, up the gut, running hard, out to the 40. And 6 more yards for Jonathan Taylor. That's encouraging, Greg, for the Colts, because New England's defense has really started to take over.
Absolutely. Now they have a wide receiver come back. Now he's the fallback or the hide player. We saw Mo Alley Cox, the tight end, do it. Look at Zach. That's a great block for a wide receiver to hold Adrian Phillips as the outside edge. He's the free hitter. Tell you what, if you have a wide receiver that's willing to do that in the run game, look out.
Meanwhile, injury for New England. Carl Davis, one of their rotational linemen, is down on one knee. There he is. So they work on Davis. And while we have a moment, tell you about our Week 15 schedule. I mean, there's a lot of football coming up, right? I mean, doubleheaders on CBS and Fox tomorrow, and then Saints and Bucks on Sunday night with Al and Chris. And they just keep on going, right? The rescheduled games because of COVID. Raiders, Browns, Vikings, Bears Monday, Washington Eagles, Seahawks, Rams Tuesday, and then our crew will be in Nashville. That's it.
That's the game.
Thursday night.
I appreciate the NFL giving us Wednesday off. That was nice, right? To let all football fans throughout the country catch their breath a little bit after like 17 consecutive days with NFL football. It wasn't a bad week. Holidays are coming up. Everyone's off of school, work. It's going to be a lot of football watching these next few days.
And a lot of game left here. Colts trying to add on, trying to take away some clock. 2nd down and 4, up by 10. Taylor again. And Taylor, always that second surge, but I think he's going to be a little bit short. You know, you talked about, the run game and when it's important to run, right? We know the Colts can run. But I know this feels like when you really need to run.
And I'm a big advocate of this. I feel like we say it going into every week. Running the ball for the sake of running it, just to rack up a certain amount of carries or a certain amount of gross yardage, is not really the way to win in the NFL anymore. It's 3rd and short, 4th and short, goal to go. And then when you have the lead late in the game in the 4th quarter, can you run it and win the game? That's what's unfolding here today. If you want to be a great running team, you got to be great right now.
They go jumbo formation, extra offensive lineman. They will run it to Taylor again. He is denied. Lawrence Guy made a brick wall. There he is, number 93.
just nowhere to go. You're going to see, again, this solid defense, meaning there's a defensive tackle on the nose, on both guards. It's very hard to get double teams. It's very hard to get movement. And Frank Reich, we've seen it for years. He is not afraid when he feels the game slipping away a little bit. He's going to grab it back. Fourth down try here, 4th and short.
Obviously a monster call in their own territory. 4th and less than a yard.
If you're Bill Belichick, you just can't let him run a quarterback sneak, right? You've gotten beat by it twice in short yardage. Make him do something else.
He doesn't do something else, and boy, the spot's going to be everything, but I think he got it. He does. First down, Indy.
He tried to take it away. You see him run Hightower through. That was not for the lack of effort. They were trying to take it away by their scheme. But we've talked all night, the interior of this offensive line.
Frank is...
You can tell Frank is thrilled. His excitement level.
That's what makes him beautiful, right? Like, he's like that every single day.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, that's a gutsy call.
How many coaches, after this game is starting to kind of slip on 4th and short on their own side of the 50, are not punting that ball?
And they call a timeout as time was winding down on the play clock. Big conversion on 4th down. Colts trying to put this one away. Some singing and dancing here in Indianapolis. A little Sweet Caroline. It's been a fun atmosphere tonight and a good game. Colts jumped out to a 20-0 lead. Patriots have clawed their way back, but this is enormous and a reason why they've been really ahead a lot today. You get that on 1st down. There it is, another 1st down of that big 4th down conversion. That one goes nowhere. I got to go back to this today. I asked you in the commercial. After the Patriots kicked a field goal there, I know it was 4th and goal from like the 8, but I was a little surprised at that. And you said you were okay with it at the time. You understood it.
Yeah, I understood it. I feel like at that time, right, and I know the conversation, especially coming off last week's the game a couple days ago between the Chiefs and the Chargers, where there was so many 4th down tries down in the red zone. You'd say, why not go for it? Why not go for it? There was 9 minutes to go in the game. A field goal makes it a 2-possession game. Your defense has really taken control. You had the turnover. They forced a lot of punts. They've only given up 1 touchdown. You think you're going to get your offense back, the ball with 2 possessions, but you got to get off the field. You can't allow Indianapolis just to continue to milk clock here on the ground.
I mean, that 1st down might buy Indianapolis another 3 minutes. Oh, what a hit that was by Jamie Collins. And now it'll be a 3rd and long. And now a timeout by New England, their first. Look, it's been a long time. We told you the Patriots have beaten the Colts 8 in a row. So you got to go back to 2009. What a game this was, right? Showdown between Peyton and Brady. Colts scored 14 points late, and they hold on Sunday night 35-34. So it has been a while, and trust me, these fans know they were starved for this game. Just walking around town, we're running into people like they were so fired up just to talk about this game tonight.
Here in Indianapolis, just the last couple days being here, it felt like we were getting ready for a playoff game. There was a buzz, there was an energy, and I even think within the Colts organization, you hear a lot of coaches say, oh, it's just another game, it's another week. No, this one just felt a little different.
It's a 3rd and 14. Looking to throw it. Nope, Wentz on a run. Has a block, but he got tripped up early by Van Noy. And now they'll punt it away. See if New England takes another timeout. And they do. So they'll have 1 timeout left, 3:55 left. And obviously down 2 scores. That's what they're working with.
Yeah, now the rest of the game, New England, you got to be in hurry up. You got to be in 2 minutes. The clock is working against you now, because as we just touched on, you need 2 possessions. So you need to get down. You can stop the clock 2 more times. You got 1 timeout remaining plus the 2-minute warning. But we've got to get into warp speed here. We're going to need a touchdown, most likely an onside kick. So that last drive, even though Indianapolis is punting the ball here, the fact now they've gotten it from 9 minutes to under 4 minutes in a 2-possession game, that's success.
Got to be careful on this punt. Gunnar Olszewski is an all-pro returner. A good kick by Sanchez. He has to fair catch it inside the 20, and he does. And the 2nd punt of the game. So here are the Colts, right? have not won these games. Pam Oliver started the broadcast talking about it. Frank Reich said we have not won enough of these games. This is a game we have to win. The Patriots, we beat the Bills. It was the first time we beat a playoff team, but now the Patriots team we have to beat. And you just feel like for them as a whole, for the chance to maybe have a chance to win a Super Bowl, this is a must-have. They have to close it out.
These games go so far into building your team morale, your mindset, your confidence. Not all wins are created even in the NFL.
Patriots work to do. Time not on their side. Jones has time. Rifles one. Bourne is wide open. Taken down out at the 38.
Really nice ball here by Mac Jones. We've talked a few times tonight about the ball being a little flat. Not really elevating the ball into the back, into the deeper zones. As we see him kind of going hurry up here. That was a really well-thrown ball. The first play of a 2-minute drive is the most critical.
4-man rush. It's blocked. Jones can't find anyone. Double pumps and now throws it away. Just couldn't find anyone open. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10. During the win streak, they were scoring. Of course, the defense helped set some of that up, but Jones was playing great. Running game was great. Tonight, little different story. The run game has not gotten going really at all. Playing without Damian Harris, their top rusher, certainly didn't help. The Colts defense has been terrific. That's really the story. Quick over the middle, and an immediate tackle there by Willis. As Myers on the catch brings up 3rd down, and the clock continues to run, and there's an injured Colt. You see Taylor Stallworth is the man down.
There's a lot of talk in these situations about offensive strategy, how to use your timeouts, how to get the ball in, out of bounds and whatnot to stop the clock. But there's also a very deliberate defensive strategy that defensive coordinators take, in this situation. You got 3 minutes, it's a 2-score game. To let them eat the clock and just continue to get completions and tackle them in bounds is not a big deal. When you know it's not a 1-score game, you can play soft zones, make them complete the ball underneath, rally, tackle. Keep this clock moving. Keep it going. They can only stop it 2 more times, one of them being the 2-minute.
Yards have been hard to come by in this game for both teams. 3rd down and 6. Jones delivers. Henry's got a 1st down, but there are multiple flags on the play, so let's see. Into Indianapolis territory.
I think this is coming back. I think they're going to get Hunter Henry. He just lowered his head and just ran through the chest of Darius Leonard. They're in a 2-man, which means there's 2 high safeties and then inside leverage man. I think that's on the offense.
Fouls by both teams on the play. Illegal use of hands to the face, number 26, defense. Pass interference, number 85, offense. Those fouls offset, 3rd down.
Well, the Colts penalty was on Rocky Yassin, obviously away from that play. And they just essentially redo the down.
And Hunter Henry's trying to be physical. He's trying to use his big body to create separation. Just work to an edge. Just slip to the outside shoulder and snap away, and it's an easy 1st down. Instead, we got to replay 3rd down.
4-man rush. Jones heaves it, going deep for Harry. He's got it! A big one to N'Keal Harry. There's a penalty flag back near the quarterback. Hang on.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 97. Defense, half the distance to the goal, will be added to the end of the play, automatic 1st down.
So a 43-yard gain on Harry, and then add on the roughing penalty. Right there, clearly.
Clear, anytime there's contact to the head or neck area of a quarterback, it's going to be called. That was straightforward, but look at Harry go up and compete for this ball. That's exactly, if you're Indianapolis, what can't happen. Let them complete that ball underneath. You cannot let them throw that ball over the top. Mac Jones with a nice throw. He's kind of come to life in this fourth quarter. We'll see if it's too little, too late, but they got a shot.
First and goal, 2:35 left, down 2 scores. Jones stands in, delivers, knocked away. Kenny Moore, outstanding coverage.
We've seen Indianapolis on this drive, a little uncharacteristic of their defense, go to more man-to-man. We saw it on the PI that was offsetting penalties on Hunter Henry and Darius Leonard. In critical downs tonight, they've gone to a more of a match man coverage. Nice job by Kenny Moore there in the slot. So far, they're holding up all right.
Jones has a lot of time going end zone, incomplete. Henry was the nearest receiver, but Rodgers all over him, and now third and goal with 2:25.
It's man-to-man again. Indianapolis must feel that their tendencies are all week. They're preparing in the red zone. They're preparing in these situations for just deep zone coverages. As a result, so far this man-to-man has just been enough of a kind of change-up. Mac Jones has nowhere to go with the ball.
Pressure. Jones is caught for the touchdown. Another one for Henry. And this isn't over.
And I don't know how this game's going to end, but if you are a Patriots fan or you're in this Patriots organization, Mac Jones coming to life here when everything went against him for 3 quarters, and to give your team a chance. Tell you what, this kid's future is bright.
And what that does, Greg, I don't know what they're going to do, but they don't have to onside if they don't want to. I mean, interesting decision here, man, because you figure out with the 2-minute warning and 1 timeout, and now just needing a field goal, they have a choice, but let's look at the touchdown.
So Darius Leonard is what they call the hook curl player. His eyes are on the quarterback. Look at this ball placement. Hunter Henry feels it. He starts, watch at the top of his break when he looks back. Now watch him just slightly slide out. Feel that slide. That's where the ball not only is taking him, but he understands that Leonard is trying to undercut and rob that. Wow. Really almost got it. That's a long arm linebacker. That's a great ball and a great job by Hunter Henry.
So here's the decision. New England with 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning. If they kick off and they hold, they would get the ball back with about 1:20, 1:15, and only needing a field goal. It's an option, or they could try an onside kick. What would you do?
I think what happens a lot of times right now, everyone puts their hands team. If you can have a kicker who can bloop this ball and kick this ball roughly between the 6-7 yard lines and the goal line, you don't want a touchback, but if you can just drop this ball deep and rally, you could arguably pin them inside the 15-yard line. And like you said, you got 2 chances to stop the clock. Getting the ball back with 1:20 needing a field goal is by no means daunting.
But this is interesting. This is Folk out here. Usually Bailey, the punter, is the kickoff guy, and it's Folk. So I don't know what that means. We're about to find out.
The ball's on the tee. Yep, gonna try to bloop it.
Yeah, it's kind of a bloop pooch kick. Klein's gonna take it. Out to the 20, room, and out across the 30. So
yeah, that was the idea. Right, we just talked about it. That was the idea. He just didn't get it deep enough. He caught that ball around the 14, 15-yard line. Ideally, you'd like that ball to be caught around the 5, the 4. But nonetheless, Bill Belichick's playing the numbers you just laid out.
So now, with 1 timeout left for New England, with Carson Wentz, who's got 58 total yards today, but his team winning and trying to salt it away. I mean, it's got to be just the run game here, right? How aggressive are you going to be?
I know Frank Wright over the years has surprised everyone. I just can't see you playing too aggressive here. At least expect on first down you turn around and hand the ball off.
They give it to Doolin on the jet sweep, and it worked earlier in the game, but not so much there. He's got 2, and that should take us to the 2-minute warning, unless, no, they call the timeout here. Okay, interesting. So, again, either way you slice it, I think you still end up, if the Patriots hold, getting it back with about 1:20 left.
Yeah, if you're on defense, you always take the timeout on the plus side of the 2-minute warning. If you run that ball down, if you run that clock down to 2 minutes, you say, all right, I hold my the next down is going to eat up a certain amount of seconds, then you would take your timeout. Here, if you stop them on second down, you know the clock will stop at 2 minutes as opposed to a minute 54, a minute 55. So it's always the right move to call it on the plus side of the 2-minute warning.
Monday on NFL Network, showdown of the AFC playoff race. Raiders in Cleveland, and then Monday at 5. Monday Night Football after that, ABC and ESPN. Right now, good finish here. Colts, will they have enough to finish this game? As Frank Reich said, here's Taylor. Taylor's going to finish it! Jonathan Taylor to the house. Good night.
You want to be a running team in the NFL? You know when running really matters? Can you run the ball when the entire world knows you're going to run it? And that is no easy feat against this New England Patriots defense. But all night, Jonathan Taylor, Quentin Nelson, this offensive line has been spectacular. Wow. Wow.
67 yards for Jonathan Taylor. Well, that will finish it. And it's only fitting. 169 yards rushing for Taylor on 29 carries. Here it is.
Look how many guys are in the box. There's 10 guys in the box. There's 2 free hitters. Jonathan Taylor just makes a miss. Dante Hightower, arguably your longest tenured, your best player over the last decade. He's got him. He just overruns the play. Jonathan Taylor is so good with the ball in his hands. He makes one guy miss. You have Devin McCourty and Dante Hightower unblocked in the hole.
And you win.
And you win. That says all you need to know.
He's a special player. He's an MVP candidate. And we showed you earlier in the broadcast how tough Bill Belichick's defenses have been against 1,000-yard rushers. Jonathan Taylor has broke the mold. 169 tonight. And now the most scrimmage touchdowns in Colts history, getting past the great Lenny Moore and Edge. Tying Lenny Moore. 19 total, 17 rushing touchdowns, 11 straight games with a rushing touchdown. I mean, I could just name stats forever. But the bottom line, the backbreaker.
Now, if you're New England and you're coming out, the roof just busted off the top of this place, right? That was just a back-breaking play. You still can stop the clock after the first down. You can't quit. You've got to try to go make something happen here and get points, even if it's a field goal. Get points, and then, of course, your hopes are going to hinge on the success of an onside kick. But as hard as this seems right now with 2:01, you just can't quit. You got to get back in the huddle and just say, we're going to finish this game, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
So here's Jones. Take us to the 2-minute warning. Over the middle, catch is made and caught by Myers. It doesn't matter if it's inbounds. It'll be the 2-minute warning. But Jonathan Taylor, the story, along with this Colts defense. Taylor's third game over 150 rushing yards this year. I mean, and here you go. As I said, 11 straight with a rushing touchdown now. One more would tie the all-time record, but that doesn't matter here tonight.
That's a pretty special group right there. You find yourself between some of those names, LT, Emmitt Smith. I mean, that's pretty good company to keep.
Jonathan Taylor, who had a fine career at Wisconsin, averaged 151 rushing yards a game there. By the way, he turned down Harvard. He could have done anything. Said he wants to get into science, space travel when he's done playing. Well, he's in the business now of getting the Colts to the playoffs. Let's jump on his back. It's a pretty good formula.
I know the MVP has traditionally, at least recently, been a quarterback heavy, right? Almost an exclusively quarterback award. But sometimes it just takes that one special performance. And here he is on national television, the entire world, only game on, to do it against this defense, against this team. pretty special.
Jones going to set it up. Bolden now. Bolden has some blocks, breaking tackles. Bolden still going to midfield here. They've got no timeouts. Down by 10. Got to hurry.
Go, get lined up, get set. We got to get this ball snapped.
Jones, four-man rush. It's blocked. Pumps, delivers, knocked away. Oh my goodness, what a collision. Sendejo hit Perry. And now they're both down.
Wow, we have seen some violent collisions here tonight. I think Sendejo, the safety, might have been on the wrong side of that one. You're going to see he's going to try to fit this ball in again. Oh, Sendejo gets there right as the ball gets there.
Hit him right in the head, too. There you go. Oh, I hope they're both okay.
I hope so, too.
Well, they tend to both players. You see Harry helped off.
That's tough.
Hate seeing that. Reminder, stick around for the Mercedes EQ postgame show. A lot coming up. Heck of a game to unpack. So they continue to work on Sendejo. Hope he's okay. Greg mentioned MVPs. Just think about, this is the last 6 running backs to win MVP, and Adrian Peterson was the last. What was that, 2012? Well, here's how Taylor's season stacks up against the average of all of those guys. I mean, it's right there. There's a couple left to play.
I understand the league has changed. The passing game has pretty much exclusively taken over as far as priority, but if there was ever a guy to break that mold, I don't know how much better you're going to get. Although Derrick Henry over the years, you can make an argument that he probably had his fair share of opportunities at the MVP. It's nice to see Sendejo just getting up.
Well, good news is Sendejo is up and at least helped walk off field. There we are. Good to see you. This is again, I go back to Pam's initial report. This is a game for, most coaches, it's just another game. Frank Reich was to us, this is a game we absolutely have to win. And I'm just curious, we saw this Colts team a couple weeks ago against Tampa. What's your opinion of them now if they can close this out? Does it change at all?
I think they found a way to just continually improve, continue to get better. They came off that big Buffalo win a few weeks ago. Then they had the letdown here at home. You said it, we called that game against Tampa. That was the second big measuring stick for Frank Reich against the defending champs. Didn't go their way. This was their next opportunity. And barring a miraculous comeback, they've answered the challenge.
Yeah, 1:27 left, no timeouts. And remember, keep in mind, Patriots' #1 defense in the league coming in. Yards have been tough to come by, but getting them at the key times. Here's Jones. Pass to Hurd. Floats one. Incomplete for Myers. That'll bring him 3rd down.
It's worth noting on that last play, we saw the big collision between Sendejo and Harry. Thankfully, both of them were able to walk off the field on their own power. Bill Belichick was pretty animated. He called almost the entire officiating crew over to his near sideline and said, how is that not a penalty? How is that not hit to the head and personal foul? But obviously, the official didn't see it that way. It's just nice to see both those guys be able to walk off. Hope they're okay.
Yeah. 3rd and 10. Jones in trouble. Just kind of underarms it, incomplete. Amazing, even got it out of there.
Smart.
And it does stop the clock with 1:15 left, but it's a 4th down.
Really smart play, though. He was going nowhere. He gets tackled in bounds there. They're going to lose a ton of time. I couldn't tell in real speed if his knee was down. I think he got it out in time, just barely got it out of his hand. It's a smart play.
I'll tell you what, it hasn't been easy, but you have to be impressed with Mac Jones in this 4th quarter, right? I mean, he was having a dreadful game, and he's showing you something.
Absolutely. I mean, remember, before they kick that field goal to make it 20-10, they jump off sides at the 1-yard line.
I know. Here he is again. 4th down. It is knocked away. Incomplete, and that'll do it officially. Colts will take a knee now. Darius Leonard getting everybody jumping.
Rock Yassin. We've talked Kenny Moore, Rock Yassin, Xavier Rhodes. This secondary today has really made some big plays at the right moment. You can't say enough about this entire Colts performance. All three phases. I know it got a little tight at the end, but they were in control from the very first possession of the game. Took advantage of some uncharacteristic mistakes, some uncharacteristic performances by certain elements of the Patriots team. But to win a game like this at home with everything on the line, they're going to be able to carry this game forward now as they prepare to make a run through the playoffs.
Our producer tonight, Pete Majeska, director Artie Kempner, TD Clyde Taylor, technical director Derek Joyo Prayetno. AFC playoff picture updated now. The Colts, it's a monstrous win with the Chargers losing. You see where they jump now, and obviously still in the mix for the division as well. And for the Patriots, they would have jumped back in the #1 slot with a win because of the conference record, but now they move on down. We'll see what Tennessee does tomorrow. And the Colts will take a knee and finish it on off. Biggest win of the year for Indianapolis and Frank Reich. 27-17. They take down the Patriots. Don't forget to stick around for the Mercedes EQ postgame show coming your way next. Really fun game here tonight in Indy. Jonathan Taylor, 169 yards, and the touchdown, the icing on the cake to finish it off. The Colts defense outstanding. And a big win for Indianapolis today. The home fans go home happy, 27-17. That'll do it for us, but a lot more to do with the postgame show coming up after this.